Welcome back to Elevation 44. It's your girl B. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back, family. Today we are diving into this Aquarius full moon, and it's happening on August 11th at 9:35 p.m. Eastern time, okay? So this full moon is rapidly approaching, and depending on when you're watching this video, it might be after the full moon, okay? So you always have around a 5-day span working with full moon energy, 2 days before the full moon, the day of the full moon, and 2 days after. So if you don't catch it exactly on that date, please rest assured that you can work with the energy at any time. In this video, if you're new here, like I said, I break down this astrology so that you understand what is going on energy-wise around the time of these new moons and full moons, so you know what to watch out for and also learn how to best work with the energy. Before I get started and start diving into all the particulars of this full moon, I will say that for those of you that don't know, my services are starting to open up. So on my website, I have, opened up a service, which is the first of a couple to come. And I've been enjoying connecting with you guys one-on-one. It's been so much fun. I've been learning a lot through the process as well. And if you want to book some time with me, schedule some time with me, please head over to the website and schedule some time with your girl, okay? Because I'll be happy to help. All right, so like I said, this full moon is, did I say it was happening at 19 degrees? I might have said that, I don't remember, but it is happening at 19 degrees. And on this channel, we don't only look at the astrology, we're reading the energies from an astrological standpoint, but we also look at the numerology as well, because the numerology is going to give us another level of depth in terms of like, what can we expect overall, because the degrees do matter, okay? So with this, 19 in numerology boils down to number 1, because you add the 1 plus 9, you got 10, and then you have to also further put that down to a single digit, which is a 1. And the number 1 is all about initiation, new starts, new beginnings. There's like a new path or a new journey ahead, right? And it really ties into this theme of this Aquarius full moon. But the thing about this new path, new challenges, or new journey ahead is that there are new challenges that are going to push you to that path. It's not going to be necessarily a smooth ride or a smooth transition forward. When the moon is in Aquarius, in the sign of Aquarius, the moon is very, it's already connected to our emotions, to our feelings, to our intuition, to just like that, the most feminine aspects, internal aspects of ourselves, right? But when it's in the sign of Aquarius, it's very much detached. And it can work to the advantage of being able to see things objectively, is how the moon really functions, probably at its better points in Aquarius. It's not the most comfortable place for the moon, but that is the positive to pull out of it. It's like, okay, I'm gonna look at things objectively. I'm not gonna be so attached to it, right? Because there's a level of detachment that takes place there. Now, with the moon representing our internal, our feminine, our emotions and everything like that, we also have, at the time of a full moon, we always have that opposition with the sun. And the opposition with the sun is the sun being in the sign of Leo. Aquarius and Leo are opposites, right? So with that polarity here, the sun, of course, is our logic. It is our masculine tendencies. It is our external projection of ourselves. So here, it's everything that Aquarius isn't. It is attached, right? It is personal, and it sees things subjectively. So when a full moon comes in, it is for us to find balance between, the two opposing forces, or the two polarities, which is that objective view versus that subjective view, that attachment versus that detachment, because there needs to be a fine balance in between. You can't be too far on one side or the other. And the sun in Leo is very much driven by ego, for good and for bad, right? Because the ego is not always such a bad thing. Everybody wants to label the ego as just this horrible, detrimental thing, and it's not, right? It really depends on how you work with your ego. It could be a benefit to you because its job there is to protect you, or it could be a detriment to you, right? It can hold you back. It can it can really like wreak havoc in your life in other ways. So just want to explain that, you know, that difference and that balance that is required, especially anytime a full moon comes into play. Okay. Some of the interesting things, I'm going to dive right into the aspects that the moon, this full moon, is going to be making, which is making this energy particularly challenging. And when I'm saying like watch out, that danger can be a part of it, and you know, anger and ego and all of that. The first thing that we have is the moon will be conjunct, which means it'll be blending its energy with the planet Saturn, okay? And Saturn is also sitting in the sign of Aquarius. Now, with the moon conjunct Saturn, we have a lot of challenges popping up, specifically around limitations, feeling restricted. Like there's this internal battle, this internal struggle with a lot of things that are happening maybe in our personal lives, our relationships, or just even internally that we've been battling. So there's a lot of barriers and there are a lot of limitations. So there's an irritation happening here. We also can feel this really popping up in some of our closest relationships, our closest friendships, our intimate relationships, you know, family, like anything that's like really close to you. And you also could see this pop up in terms of enemies, right? So there are a lot of there's a lot of irritation that's being caused with this conjunction of, you know, the moon and Saturn, in terms of feeling boxed in, closed in, restricted, feeling like authority is trying to control you, and there's like I want to say a greater theme of wanting to break free, right? And there could be some conversations and different things that are coming up during this time and initiated out of the blue that you didn't even expect coming from these people in your life, okay? So I just definitely want to put that out there, that there can be a lot of uncomfortable conversations and different things happening like that. Now, the other thing that this moon is going to be doing is that it's going to be, and we talked about this, we have a whole video about this Mars, North Node, and Uranus conjunction in the sign of Taurus, okay? It's going to be squaring that, and squaring means that it's going to be having tension with those three planets. So the sun and the moon both are going to be at tension with those three planets in the sign of Taurus, okay? Now, I'm not going to dive too much into that, like I said, because I have a whole video specifically where I broke down this conjunction between those three planets, what it means and what we can expect. But overall, I will say that a lot of major unexpected changes are coming, and not just changes for change's sake, but it's changes for advancement's sake, because we've got that North Node piece in there, which is our purpose, it's our destiny, it's where we're headed, it's where we're going, right? So there's a lot of changes that are coming in for the advancement of the collective, and also in your own personal life, on your own personal journey, okay? With it being in the sign of Taurus, this really is challenging our security. It's really challenging our material world, our environment, our economy. There's a lot of things tied to that, which all then kind of rolls back into the security, under the security umbrella. So there's a lot that's happening there. Again, this whole concept of breaking free, not only, just of, the personal limitations and things that we have in our life, but the big power and control or authority, major authority figures that have been over things for a while. People are getting restless and getting irritated, and just like, it's really time for a change, and you can sense it, you can feel that something is on the horizon. You can't put your finger on it, but you just know that something is about to give, something is about to break, okay? And again, the process of breaking free isn't necessarily pretty. You gotta wade through the shit to get to the gold. This tension between both the moon, the full moon, so we're talking about the sun and the moon, squaring those three planets, Mars, Uranus, and then it's not a planet, but it's the North Node, right? We have this is, you gotta be careful, because again, this is unforeseen events, unforeseen circumstance. These are things that come out of the blue. You just not even expect. They just catch you off guard, okay? So these are the things that can be negative in nature too. Accidents, This is prime for like accidents, danger, different situations that you can in a snap, right? You can find yourself in a very effed up or dangerous or crazy situation. So you have to really, really be careful with this energy, okay? Challenging events and actions from other people. Again, unexpected. You're just gonna be like, where did that come from? Where, how, why? You know what I mean? So just, it isn't for you to be afraid or for you to be so like tensed up or whatever. It's just for you to be aware, right? So that when these things are happening, you're able to allow yourself to flow and go through those changes and welcome those conversations from a higher level perspective, because you're almost like mentally prepared in some way, shape, or form for like the unexpected. This also can leave you triggered, right? And triggered because your insecurities are being poked at or exposed during this process. So this can lead to emotionally unpredictable behaviors, impulsivity, reckless actions. And then because we have that element of like accidents and danger and different things, this is not the time that you really want to be getting into risk taking, any type of risk taking, you know, situations. I would highly advise that you not at this moment. Also, yeah, like I said, reckless actions, reactions, anger. This can even be indicative of sexual frustration. And with Mars in the sign of Taurus, Mars in Taurus is slower to get angry, but when it blows, oh my gosh, it stays mad and can burn, can burn for a long time. So it may not be that quick pop off anger, like boom, react and then cool down. It might be that slow build, kaboom, and it be a big ass explosion. So just be careful with this energy. Overall, you can be feeling anxious and uneasy, especially, like I said, as those insecurities are poked. The sense of security, right, is threatened or poked or at risk, right? Just remember that you should not allow yourself to get attached to one particular way of being, doing, thinking, or having things flow, because it will likely change, and it will change regardless. So whether you welcome in those changes or not, it's likely going to change anyway. So you know what I'm saying? Not being so firmly attached for a particular way of things to be. So I would definitely recommend shadow work, all right? Shadow work. This is time to have deep conversations with yourself, whether you're tapping into your ancestors or your guides helping you, whether you're doing that through journaling prompts, whether you are doing that by, you know, specific exercises, lighting specific candles, doing, you know, mirror work, right? Also like meditation sessions, just whatever your form or medium of shadow work is, you probably want to think about the themes of your emotional reactions, right? You're resistant to change, how you feel restricted or limited, your relationship with authority and that tension there. So these are some of the common themes that I think that you should probably dive into specifically as you're doing your shadow work and you're asking those questions, whether of your higher self, of your spirit guides, you know, or, you know, you're doing those journaling prompts. I would definitely go down that direction, okay? The two things that I will leave you with, the power herb that you can work with during this time is kava kava, because this is going to give you relaxation and clarity, especially with this energy just being so And then I would also recommend you working with the crystal amethyst, because this will help with your vision, your anxiety, help calm you down some, and also give a level of protection, because with it being just kind of like accidents or different things that could be not so positive, you know, likely occurring or higher chance of occurring, always having another level of protection is always good around you. And also you can set those intentions around yourself to have protection, to have awareness, to have discernment during this time, okay? So that is it for this video. Where are all my Aquarius moons at? Or if you have any Aquarius placements in your chart, I'm looking forward to reading the comments, or even if you've channeled any information about this energy. If you've been feeling a particular way or you want to leave something down below, that's cool too. Always open to that. I will see you all in the next video. Like this video, subscribe, share if you haven't done any of those things, because it does help out the channel. Have a good one, guys. Peace.